Hello, class. Good day. For today's discussion, we will be discussing the lesson 4 of this subject, Science, Technology, and Society. So we will be discussing science and technology in the Philippines through the years. So in this lesson, we will be we will dwell uh, the history of science and technology from the start, no, from the beginning of the civilization of our country, Philippines. So this lesson also introduces the journey of science and technology in our country from pre-colonial times up to the modern era, which is our generation today. And of course, it shows how indigenous knowledge, colonial influences, and government initiatives have shaped the Philippines' scientific and technological growth. It also emphasizes how these changes impact our society, our culture, and our national development. So, here are our learning objectives for today's discussion. At the end of the lesson, you will gain a comprehensive understanding about the journey of science and technology in our country, Philippines. More specifically, in terms of historical aspect, societal impact, and the government rules. So, let's begin. Let's discuss first the foundation or kumbaga pa the indigenous ingenuity and colonial shapes. From the indigenous aspect or civilization of our Filipino before the Spaniards came to our country, before we were colonized by Spaniards last 1521. Of course, we do believe that Filipinos already exist, and these are indigenous people, no, mga sinaunang tao noong unang panahon. They are they are very rich in culture and tribes. So even before the Spaniards came here in our country, of course, the presence of technology and science also, it's already there. Andun na. And of course, the science and technology of our country, it did not develop into isolation. And of course, there are factors that were being influenced with. To start with, the indigenous practices such as farming, medicine, and navigation. And of course, because of the Spanish colonization, yeah, we were colonized by Spaniards for 333 years. The Spaniards introduced to us the formal education. It's a formal education, but only men were given privilege, and only mga rich, mga elite people, no, were given privilege to right of education. Aside from that, the presence of religious schools, sanitation, and agricultural improvements. And after the Spaniards colonization, we have here the American colonization. We also have the Japanese colonization, and then the post-independence, in which it was right after the World War II. So let's discuss the pre-colonial Filipinos. Class, pre-colonial Filipinos were already innovative. No? The presence of science and technology is already there. Andun na. And they have already advanced farming. Best example natin, we have rice terraces. They have also irrigation system. They are already advanced in agricultural practices. Also, boat making and navigation using astronomy. No? Despite of the absence of the technology that we had right now, before they have used mathematical astrology, or yeah, they also have astronomy. No, they are very, very brilliant in terms of navigation. So by looking up the stars, alam nila, they know the direction already. Aside from that, they also have this herbal medicine and healing practices. Herbal medicine still up to date, it's present pa rin. Also, they have skilled metallurgy in terms of producing gold, producing jewelries, producing tools. And lastly, we have our earliest form of writing. The earliest form of writing we have, our country is, unsa man yon? We have the baybayin, no? Before, the baybayin transcripts were inscribed on bamboo, or other Filipinos before, they inscribed that one on palm leaves. And after the indigenous innovations, we were colonized by the Spaniards, no? According to the song of, sino yung kumanta? In March 16, 1521. Yan. So, it was stated there when Magellan, I don't know, basta it was in the Masao Island, he was there. And then, of course, after that one, the Battle of Mactan, in which Magellan was killed by Lapu-Lapu. Yeah. And there's already a revolution. Huh? And later on, of course, due to the, ano no, of the Spaniards, many Spaniards came here pa rin sa Philippines. And of course, they have their goal, no? 3 Gs. The 3 Gs, yun yung goal nila. Gold, um, I forgot the glory at saka God, no? That's why one of the goal nila is to spread Catholicism also. Anyway, we should be thankful we should be thankful ba that we're colonized by Spaniards. But of course, they were the one who introduced to us the formal school. And did you know that the oldest university in our country is UST? It was built last 1611 or 1621. I forgot. Ayan. And also, Spaniards introduced modern agriculture, sanitation, and medicine. So before, siguro the Spaniards observed that many Filipinos are very untidy, no? Kumbaga pajamak. So they believe that there is a proper care and proper sanitation, no proper orientation about that one. And then because of the Spaniards colonization, they build churches, bridges, forts. No, there are lots of building infrastructures that were built before. Next, now before, in the pre-colonial Philippines, there is a legacy of innovation in which pre-colonial peoples, pre-colonial Filipinos rather, had developed knowledge of nature and used it for survival and progress. They were expert seafarers, traders, farmers, and even metal workers. Their scientific knowledge was practical and very community-centered. A real life evidence to that, we have the Balangay boats of Butuan, in which it was over 1,000 years old, and that is one way of proving that there is advanced shipbuilding. Another innovation is the Baybayin scripts, in which it was preserved in historical documents showing earliest form of literacy before the Spaniards' colonization. Next, we have Spanish colonial period, education and infrastructure. During Spanish colonial period, of course, no, Spain brought formal education and they brought technologies also. So of course, Filipinos as we are, no, we are very ignorant also. That's why we are very uto-uto also to believe about these new technologies that were introduced to us by Spaniards. And of course, parish schools taught literacy, arithmetic, while universities like UST trained medical professionals. And of course, the Spanish also advanced agriculture, sanitation, engineering, and ano pa? Yeah, in terms of health, no, sanitation. They institutionalized science technology through Manila Observatory, that was 1865 for meteorology. And one of the best example for this is the San Sebastian Basilica in Manila. It was built with advanced engineering to withstand earthquakes. Aside from that, another example for meteorology, they have Manila Observatory, which continues rather weather and climate studies under the Ateneo de Manila University. After the Spaniards' colonization, here it comes, no, because after 333 years, yeah, we were colonized for 333 years. Then yeah, we were anong tawag dyan? We were sold, no, by the Spaniards to US through the Treaty of Paris. And by that, it comes, no, the American period, the post-Commonwealth era, and there's already the introduction to modernization and research. The American period introduced also formal education in which all, regardless of your race and gender, you were given the right to education. Before, women are deprived to education, but the American period, yeah, equal opportunity, equal education for all. So aside from that, the Americans introduced us scientific research and of course infrastructure. They focus on agriculture, medicine, and industries. And that's the time also, class. That's the build, no? The build, huh? The build of the National Research Council of the Philippines, or the NRCP, and the Institute of Science, no, in which it was created last 1946, promoted as RD. So the Bureau of Science, it was before Bureau of Science, but later on it is DOST, Department of Science and Technology. And aside from that, also the evidence now that we had before under the American period is the spread of vaccination and public health programs under the American Reduced Tropical Diseases. However, in the Senior era, Marcos Senior prioritized science for nation building. In the 1973 Constitution, it emphasized science for development. Marcos Sr., yeah, the father of the president right now, strengthened science education, increased funding, and established the National Academy of Science and Technology, or the NAST, and of course, the building of National Science and Technology Authority. And by that, no, the evidence that is present up until now is the Philippine Atomic Energy Commission, which explored nuclear energy, and also the build of science high schools, no, in which we have received laboratories and equipment during this period. The existence also of science high schools, no, the Philippine Science High School. Yan. However, due to the event, no, before the martial law, of course, the next president right after Marcos Sr. is Corazon Aquino, and we also have Fidel V. Ramos, no? Their focus about recovery and ICT focus. Presidencies of Corazon Aquino and Fidel Ramos, they mark periods of transition, economic recovery, and growing focus on ICT. Of course, there is a need to economic recovery because there is a downfall of the economy after the Marcos regime. So after martial law, Cory Aquino prioritized rebuilding institutions. She created now the DOST, or the Department of Science and Technology, and launched the first Science and Technology Master Plan. And that was 1988. And Fidel Ramos, pushed ICT growth and passed major laws supporting scientists, scholarships, and intellectual property. That's why we have the scholarship for the DOST right now, the Republic Act 7687 Science Scholarship Program, which produced thousands of Filipino scientists and engineers. Aside from that, through the effort of Fidel V. Ramos, the growth of ICT, the information and communications technology, it led to the early development of the Philippine BPO industry, a key sector today. After the presidency of Fidel V. Ramos and Cory Aquino, here it comes Joseph Estrada and Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. For the present presidencies of Joseph Estrada and Macapagal Arroyo, Gloria, it brought distinct focuses on science and technology, at the same time fostering innovation from environmental protection. Estrada focused on environmental laws like pushing Clean Air Act of 1999 and healthcare access. Also, Arroyo launched Philippine Innovation, promoting STEM, research and innovations, she also signed the Biofuels Act of 2006 for sustainable energy. So one of the real evidence that we have right now, because of this contribution of the two presidencies, we have the Electronic Commerce Act of 2000, legalized online transactions, paving the way for e-commerce in the Philippines. Arroyo's support for biotech helped develop drought-resistant rice varieties. Also, in this era, it was referred as the golden age of science and technology under Gloria Macapagal Arroyo with numerous laws and projects. After the presidency of Estrada and Arroyo, we have Ninoy Aquino and Duterte. The recent administrations, Benigno Aquino and Rodrigo Duterte, have continued to build previous progress, emphasizing innovation, digital access, and even space technology. Aquino III, Benigno Aquino, si Noynoy, no, supported organic agriculture, ICT growth, and research and development, that's RD, through the ICT Act of 2015. Duterte significantly increased the DOST budget, created incentives for Filipino scientists to return, and supported space exploration, launching Diwata 1 and Diwata 2 satellites. No? Duterte also, he quadrupled DOST's budget from 50 billion to last 2010 to 208 billion to 2017. And the research development budget, it grew nearly times six from 1 billion to 5.8 billion last 2017 because it included in the science and technology and creative arts in the 10-point academic agenda of DOST. He is also famous na Digong because of this program, Balik Scientist Program, to incentivize Filipino experts who work abroad. That's why there are a lot of Filipino scientists before under his presidency who went abroad before because there are a lot of opportunity in abroad, but because of the program that Digong proposed, that's why nagsiuwian sila. And lastly, also, the Diwata satellites that was mentioned earlier, it gave the Philippines its first presence in space technology. Um, Currently, I don't know what's the contribution of Bongbong Marcos with regard on the development of science and technology. Yes, there's no update as of now. There's no reference in the even in the book in STS, so we cannot give you specific contribution no how Bongbong Marcos no also prioritize science and technology in which he cut budget pagani sa education. So that's a red flag for his administration. I think that would be all for our discussion today. Thank you so much for listening and goodbye everyone.